and welcome to another BookTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Bank holiday weekend it is here. We're having a lovely time. Actually, the weather is crap. The weather has just got nice for about 5 seconds, then it's going to go crap again. That's how it's been going. Today, I am addressing your assumptions about me. Now, Leena from the channel Leena Norms, one of my favourite channels ever, I will link it down below. I mean, a lot of you probably came here from Leena's channel. Leena kindly shouted me out a while ago. But if you have not checked out Leena's channel, then go forth and check it out because it's fantastic. Anyway, she filmed a video last week where she addressed people's assumptions. My bloody glasses are filthy. She addressed people's assumptions about her. So she asked people to provide her with an assumption they had about her, and then she stated whether or not that was true or false. I absolutely loved watching that video. That has not cleaned them at all. I loved that video. And I wanted to make it. So I did. So I asked you assumptions about me on Instagram. I got a lot. I wrote a lot down. Some of them are very similar, so I've sort of picked one out if there's a lot of similar ones. So a lot that I'll be going over here and answering are ones that people have, more than one person has said. So if you don't hear yours particularly worded the way you worded it, as if you'd remember, that's because there was a similar one. So I've got 15 here, let's go through it. The first one is, you're the happiest you've ever been in body, mind, relationship, and mini. And I would honestly say that that is true. That is really true. I often say I got to sort of 30, and I can't pinpoint it to like actually my 30th birthday, but I got to the age of 30 and I started thinking, you know what, this body you've been being sad about because it's not a size 10 body, and that hair that you're sad about because it doesn't fall so beautifully down your back, and that makeup you can't put properly on your face, none of it really matters because inside you're Lauren, and that is the nice place to be. So yeah, I just sort of got to a point, and I don't, like I say, I just don't really know what happened, but I just started feeling really super comfortable with myself. I'm going to pull my chair forward because I'm really getting into this. I just started feeling really super comfortable with myself, like really, in fact, I'd go as far as to say like loving myself. Like, I'd go as far as to say, I would definitely say, loving myself. So yeah, I am. This moment in time, I'm the happiest I've ever been, body, mind, relationship, and mini. It's all been just lovely. The next one is, you're a bookish child. I was definitely a bookish child. One of my first memories is when I was in year 2. How old's year 2? 7? I think it's 7. And we did a project. We did a term on The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And I remember having read it already. I also, this is all sort of like linked into Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe memories. So I remember going to my local library, which I imagined in my head was absolutely massive, and it's not, it's just a tiny little place now, with my mum, and picking up Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which I'd reserved for 35p. And I remember going and picking it up and reading it and just absolutely loving it. And then I remember doing the topic about it in year 2. So like some of my earliest memories, and I also remember like my mum and dad bought me a lot of Enid Blyton, and I used to read like The Secret Seven and things like that. All holidays that we ever went on, I used to go to the library before we went, and I used to get loads of books out and take them all on holiday. And by the time like the holiday had finished, I'd finished those books and had moved on to like my dad's Clive Cusslers. So yeah, I was a super bookish child. I really loved books. Strangely, my dad has always been into reading. He very much like sticks to what he loves. At the moment, I recommend him all these books, and I've bought him books for Christmas, and he don't read them because all he does is just read what he describes as cheap science fiction on his Kindle, that he just buys like loads and loads of series of them and rereads them all the time. So he's always been a reader. My mum is not much of a reader. She'll read if she's on holiday and stuff, but she does that thing that where she reads when she's on holiday and then won't pick the book up again until she goes back on holiday or something like that. And I think, what? And my sister, she reads probably the most out of my mum, dad and sister. But yeah, I wasn't from a very bookish background, but I've always loved reading. So yeah, in answer to your assumption, yes, I was a bookish child. The next one is, you are very extroverted and would be the life and soul in a group of people. I got quite a lot of you're very extroverted, and quite a lot of you're very at home in a big group of people. I am an extrovert. I am. There's also one, I'll group this one in as well because it says you need time alone despite being extroverted. So what I would say is, yes, I am an extrovert, but yes, I definitely need time alone. I love to spend time by myself. I love reading, I love quiet. And yeah, I need things to be quiet sometimes. Like, it just does my mental health so much good to be in quiet. Like, what my worst thing is when I'm at someone's house who I don't have the control over what is going on, and they've got like the telly on, the radio on, someone's watching something on their phone and they're like, then they're talking, and that is just too much for my brain. It just makes me feel like really panicked. It just induces panic. So yeah, I definitely need quiet. I am an extrovert. I really love showing off. I really love the sound of my own voice. And yeah, I'm quite proud of the fact that I'm an extrovert. In terms of being the life and soul in a group of people, I think I exhaust myself in a group of people. Not so much small groups of people, but bigger groups of people. I really try to take on the life and soul of a party role, which I don't think I was necessarily born to do, and I end up exhausting myself, particularly if I'm in a group of people and there's so if I sort of hark this back to an experience I've had. So I've had like I've been out with a group of friends, and then one of my friends has brought somebody along with them, and I don't know that person very well, or I know that person and that person's not my favourite type of person. I will absolutely exhaust myself trying to make that other person feel welcome, and over sort of, I can think of an experience where I've been in a situation where somebody has been brought into a group situation and they're very negative, and are upset about a situation and have been talking about it, and I then try to balance that out, not even without really realising I'm doing it. Like in this particular case, I went home and I was like, God, why am I so knackered? And I was like, I know, because you were trying to be fun, because that situation wasn't the funnest. So yeah, so I'm not at my best in a group of people. I'm not at my worst, but I think I sometimes over egg it a bit. And yeah, I think that in a group of people, sometimes I come across as a lot more extroverted than I actually am, maybe. So yeah, part of that, yes, I am extroverted. No, I'm not necessarily the life and soul of a group of people, or if I am, it's because I'm bloody winging it. I've got quite a lot of this as well. You've never smoked drugs, you've never done drugs, you've never smoked weed, etc. When I was at university, I did smoke weed. I was in a group of friends, well, it was mainly like my boyfriend's group of friends actually, my boyfriend at the time, who smoked weed and did that a lot. I'll be honest, didn't really affect me, and it was never a deal of like giving it up or anything like that. It just, I was in that group of people and I did it, and then when I wasn't that group of people anymore, it never happened again. And it hasn't ever happened again since then. So yeah, I have. The end. You are cheerful all the time. You're a naturally upbeat and cheerful person. I would definitely agree with this. I am cheerful all the time, and I am naturally upbeat. Yeah, I don't feel like I come, like in terms of my family, like I wouldn't say like my mum and dad are like the most cheerful people you'd ever meet. They're not like miserable bastards, but they're not cheerful like to the level that I am. So yeah, I don't know where I've picked that up from, but I am cheerful and upbeat majority of the time. I would say like 90% of the time I am cheerful and upbeat. You love food. I love food. We were talking about this recently, about whether you live to eat or eat to live, and I'm definitely a live to eat person. I just love food. I love cooking. I love eating out of restaurants and cafes, and I love cooking for like big numbers of people. I love cooking like for myself. I love making something that I know I'm going to eat the leftovers of that the next day, and they're going to taste even better. I love making a bloody sandwich. I love making a soup. I love making massive meals with 6 different dishes. And I love it. I love food. I love reading cookbooks. I love reading magazines about cooking. I love watching cook shows. I love like hearing background about food and stuff like that. So yeah, your assumption that I love food is definitely right. It's something I really love. You make a lot of money. I do not make a lot of money. I work for the NHS in an admin and clerical role. Not management role, a below management role, and that is not loads of money. It's not. I think if you work for the NHS, you do it for the love rather than the money, because there is not much money in the NHS. My YouTube does not earn me much money at all, and yeah, we just, David and I think when I was growing up, I was very much I wanted to earn a lot of money. That was like my main thing, is that I want to earn a lot of money. And again, it was, I would say it was before I hit 30. It was almost like when I moved in with David, I quickly realised that making money was not my favourite thing to do. And I am consider myself very rich in terms of rich relationship wise and rich lifestyle wise. Like David and I, neither of us had a lot of money, but we've got the lifestyle that we want so much. Big holidays and big like expensive cars and expensive things like that. They do not work for either of us. That is so low down on my list of priorities. I'm so happy. Like I'm at my happiest when I'm like sitting on my sofa reading a book, and David is doing the same, or we've got Minnie on my lap and I'm having a lovely cup of tea. Like that for me is like the epitome of like, I have made it. That I've got myself an hour in a day where I can sit and read. Like that is my, like, it's never been a big thing for me to earn a lot of money, particularly since I've met David. So yeah, I don't earn a lot of money, and I'm not sad about it either. So yeah. The next one is, you'd like to earn money from BookTube. So following on from that point, would it be my dream if BookTube was my job? Would I love it? On the surface, I think yes, because I think, oh lovely, wouldn't it be lovely to sort of like get out, like, as you may have seen in my, I did an Instagram stories earlier this week where I showed you what I do in a day of doing YouTube. Like, would that be fun to be every day? I don't live in central London, so I can't just nip into like London to meet other like freelancer YouTubers and things like that. I live in quite a way away from London, and I think I might get lonely. I think I enjoy my job a lot, and the people I work with. We're not like best pals, the people I work with. We get on really well, but we wouldn't see each other outside of work or anything. So it's really nice to have that like working relationship. And I thrive off of like talking to people as opposed to like being on my own all the time. So I do think that, like, although it would be lovely to earn money from something that you love so much as a hobby, would it be my dream to want to earn more from there? Like as in to earn a lifestyle from there? Maybe not. And I think if you caught me on another day, I might say yes, but I feel like sometimes when I spend a bit too much time on my own, I go a bit crazy. So yeah, I would like to earn more, because it's always nice to earn from the hobby, and like the fact that I have a Patreon feed and people support me every month is just fucking amazing, because they love what I do and I love them for loving what I do. That's amazing. But would I want this to be my job? That wasn't even the question. But would I want this to be my job? I don't know. Not today, but maybe another day. If David worked from home like once or twice a week, maybe I would like that. But yeah, just being quite isolated away from other sort of creators, yeah, maybe not. But yeah, I would like to earn more money from BookTube. You're correct. You eat more vegetables than chocolate. I do eat more vegetables than chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate eater. It's just been Easter, and we got Easter eggs from my mum, David's mum, my sister. I didn't even buy anything for my sister. I felt awful about that. And David has eaten all of his. Mine is still in my Easter bucket next to my bed, and that'll probably stay there for a while. Same with Christmas chocolate and stuff. I would just much rather have like, it sounds like such a dick saying this, but like, I'd much rather have a nice chopped salad than I would eat an Easter egg. I really would. Or like a nice mango. Oh, mango, lovely. Yeah, I would much rather eat that. And actually, if we're even going further into that, I'd much rather eat sweets than I would chocolate. Like, sweets are more my thing than chocolate is. Chocolate is not like something I'm that excited about. We've done that one. You never plan to move away from your home area. So this was an assumption that I've realised is true, and had not even realised it about myself. So I now live in the place that I was born, where I grew up. I went to school I went to school away from where I grew up. And then went to university a little bit further away. Like, this is literally all in the same county, so not like far. And I've never lived anywhere apart from this county that I live in. I live in Kent in the southeast of England. When I moved back home after uni, I moved to the place that I've been to school, because that's where I've made my friends. And then when David and I have been together, we lived in that place again, and now we've moved back to where I was born, which isn't where David was born. David was born where I went to school. And yeah, I've just sort of like moved slowly around and round and round. And I guess no, I don't ever feel the need to move away. We visit, like, whenever we visit a city, if we're visiting people, like when I've visited, my friend Ryan lived in Wimbledon for a while. We went there and that was absolutely beautiful. Simon, who lives in Liverpool, love that. Mercedes, who lives in Norwich, love that. Like, visiting my friend Dolores, who lives in East London, lovely. Like, whenever I go to all these places, I think, oh, that's lovely, oh, that's lovely, oh, that's lovely. But I never feel, and like David and I always say, oh, we could live here, but I don't think we ever would live there. I think we're quite happy being where we are. Particularly now, I'm very close to where my sister lives. Me and my sister are quite good pals. We're sisters. So that's nice. We're right by the seaside, which is lovely. And yeah, we're just a little bit out of it, which is nice. And I really like that. So yeah, I didn't realise that, but yeah, we probably would never move away from there. So assumption correct, didn't even know it in my brain. You prefer cats to dogs? Yes, absolutely. I have always been a cat owner, as in when I was growing up, my mum and dad had cats. We had a cat called Winston when we were younger. I was a bit frightened of Winston, actually. I remember he was a bit clawsy. I remember him being like laid out at the top of the stairs at my mum and dad's, the first house I lived in, and like sort of having to jump over him thinking he was gonna get me. And then, oh no, David's been driving to all the bloody shops trying to get hold of polenta so that he can make cornbread for a barbecue we're going to tomorrow, and he's just texted me saying no cornbread, so he hasn't been able to get polenta. Sad for him. And yeah, and then when my mum and dad got a cat called Tigger later on, the history of my cats, and then my auntie had Pickle. Then my auntie's sort of social situation changed and she couldn't look after Pickle anymore, so we had Pickle. So they were brothers, Tigger and Pickle, so we always had those. And then when Dave and I lived together, we looked after, when Pickle died, sad, we looked after Tigger when my mum and dad would go on holiday. And then David's never been a cat person, so after we'd looked after Tigger, I said, wouldn't it be nice if we got a cat? So we went and got the monster, so we got Minnie. So yeah, always been a cat person, always loved cats. Weirdly, my mum and dad have got a dog now, which is unusual, and let me tell you, my sister and me have both had our time bonding with that dog. So yeah, we've always been cat people. And the next assumption was like, you'd love a dog one day, and I really don't think I would. Like, I like looking at dogs, but I think for both me and, no, I can't answer on David's behalf, but for me, yeah, I don't think I would ever want a dog. But I do like them. I just don't think I would ever want one. I'd always be a cat person. You loved Enid Blyton books when you were a child. I've already said that. You're right. Well done in assuming like that. You and David never argue. Now, until this morning, I would have said that's true. David and I rarely argue. I mean, literally like once or twice a month, and even then, once or twice a year, I would say, like, and even then, it's not an argument. Like this morning, my door. This is as bad as the arguments get. Our door handle to our lounge keeps sticking. So when you're like trying to open the door, it keeps sticking. And I've been saying for ages, I need to get some WD-40 on that, I need to get some WD-40 on that. And I don't think David will mind me saying, he is literally zero to no interest in DIY, decorating, anything like that. So I knew it would come down to me to do that. So when I was taking it all apart today, thinking maybe if I just like give it a wiggle when it's out, it's gonna fix. I said to David, why does it keep sticking? And he said, I don't know. I don't know, bub, is actually what he said. But I was cross in the case of doing it because I had loads of things in my hands and was trying to undo stuff. And I maybe took it like that he'd said, I don't know, when I don't think that was the way he said it. Anyway, I said, I can't even remember what I said back to him, but I snapped an answer back. And then he said, oh, you've ruined the day. Now, I carried on doing that, then we got in the car and I said, what happened in there? Why did you say I'd ruined the day? And he said, because you snapped back at me after I said I didn't know something, and I said, you're right, I did do that. And then after about 10 minutes, we're all fine. So that's as bad as it gets. But yeah, we don't argue. I don't know why. I guess we're just super chill, the pair of us. So yeah, I think I'm more super chill out the pair of us. David definitely gets hangry, so if he hasn't eaten or if he's too like hot or bothered or tired, he gets a bit crosser, but I just know to sort of like leave him then, and I know it's not a personal thing, I know it's just that he's hangry and stuff. But yeah, we don't argue really, apart from today. So what weird thing that I'm answering that. I mean, you can barely even call that an argument, that's literally nothing, but like we don't disagree about anything. We're just very fortunate, I guess, that we both like the same stuff and both enjoy doing the same stuff. So yeah, that's the situation. And then the last two, you're a really emotional person. Yeah, I am really emotional. Somebody else had put you're a crier, which I guess would come in here as well. So yeah, I am emotional, but actually I'm emotional, but I'm really calm in important situations. Like you can catch me like fucking crying my eyes out over a John Lewis Christmas advert or over a cute picture of a cute cat or something like that. But when it comes to it, like, I'm pretty calm and measured in like actual situations where I need to be. So I count myself quite lucky that I'm like that. But yeah, I am emotional and I do get upset, like super upset. I remember watching the new version of Pete's Dragon by the Disney film. Oh my God, I was like crying my eyes out, like, you know, like the crying like when you were younger and you were at school and you were like, he hit me and I pinched him. That was the sort of level of crying I was at after watching Pete's Dragon. So yeah, I do get emotional. I get so emotional, baby. I do. And then the last one is, you are the same off camera as you are on camera. And I would say that, yes, I am the same off camera as I am on camera. But what I feel like you always have to sort of factor in is, so when we were talking about this at the booktube meetup recently, when you meet people, you are meeting, the version of them you are meeting is not the same as the version of them that you see online, because I'm in my lounge by myself, I can shout, I can scream, I can do whatever, and I'm feeling very comfortable, I'm in my own, like, situation, I know what I'm talking about and things like that. And then when you meet those people who are really like confident chatting about books, and you meet them in, like, bookish people are generally, I would say, a shyer type of people, and then when you meet them, it might be that they're sort of like a smaller version of the version you see online. So yeah, I would like to think that I am the same off camera as I am on camera, and I think I am, but I definitely think this version that you're seeing now is me in my lounge being able to do whatever I want. Whereas if you were to meet me in real life, I might be in a social situation where I'm not able to go. So yeah, that's how it is. So those were the assumptions people had about me. There were so many. Thank you so much if you sent one in. There was like loads, and I did not have time to talk about all of them all at once. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Something a bit different, but still bookish elements to it. David's gonna get home now. He's gonna be sad because he couldn't get any polenta, so I'm gonna have to cuddle him until he feels better, and then I think we're gonna watch some RuPaul. So yeah, that's what's going on. But thank you so much for sending in your assumptions. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you all again soon for another booktube video. Goodbye.